Hello, good morning, dear students. So we're here today to interact with you, to talk about the procedures of the spring exam. And we're here to answer some of your worries, questions. First of all, I would like to let you know that there are 8 exam centers in the region of Meknes Filelt. So there is one, the main one at the Faculty of Arts and Human Sciences in Meknes. There is another one annex in El Hajab, Ifran, Midelt, Khnifra, and Rashidia. And probably, I'm not sure, probably there will be an annex in Resani. So the exams have been designed to fit the situation, the pandemic, COVID pandemic. So the exam would not exceed no more than 1 hour or 1 hour and a half in each. It depends on the module and depends on the course. You will have the units, chapters of each module will be posted on the website, on the faculty website. So you'll have more information, and you will have more information also about the technicalities of the exams, which room you will take your exam, which center, etc. So if you have any questions, any queries, I'm here to answer all your questions. So let me take some of the questions. Can you show it? One major concern for students, they keep asking questions about the research projects. So each student has been assigned a supervisor. So the student is required and compelled, to follow and remain, at the disposal of the supervisor. So he should contact his supervisor on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, and why not, on a daily basis. It depends on you. And the exams for the monograph, so we as the department will take into consideration your supervisor's remarks and mark and the supervisor. So you need to send a soft copy to the supervisor, and after being accepted by your supervisor, he would send a copy to us, to the head of the department or to the department in general with the mark. So you need to see this with your supervisor. I think I'll take your questions. If there are any specific questions, I'm very happy to answer them. Can you share? Hisham? Can you see questions, specific questions?
The next step. I think we want to be
yes. For the fall term, the exams. It's too early to talk about this right now. So first, we need to finish the spring examinations, and once we finish them, then we can talk about the fall normal, proceeding. Okay, because the situation is not clear for the moment. Okay, nobody can foresee what will happen, in the coming days. And you see what happened yesterday in Casablanca, and I hope it will not happen in other parts of the of Morocco. Okay, and then specifically, okay, anyway. So it's too early to talk about the new academic year. Okay, for the time being. Okay, we have to focus first on the spring examination. So the dates of the exams will be, posted on the faculty council. On the faculty website. And the first exam we're gonna start with the semester 6 on the 23rd. So 23rd and 24th. Okay, sir. Yeah. So 23rd and 24th. But everything will be posted on the website of the faculty. Other questions? Yeah, that's it. I talked about it.
Research papers.
So to reiterate again, for research papers, so you need to, every single student should contact his own supervisor or her own supervisor, and then he has to settle whatever the situation is with the supervisor. For we in the department, we consider only grades and monographs sent to us by the supervisor. So you cannot send it to us directly. There is no way you can send it to the department, but you have to contact your own supervisor.
Translation, about translation, could we bring a translator book?
Yes.
I think you can bring your, for translation exam, I think you can bring your dictionaries, I mean bilingual dictionaries. I think there is no harm about that. There is a possibility, yeah. I think it's your right to bring, your dictionaries, bilingual dictionaries or monolingual dictionaries. Okay. Other questions?
About, will the courses be reduced?
Yes. So as you will see perhaps this afternoon, you may have a clear picture about the number of units and chapters for each module. So we have kindly asked, teachers to give us like the axes, like the units, like the specific chapters of the module or of the course. For instance, for me, as far as I'm concerned, I earlier assigned like 11 chapters or 11 lessons in English for professional life, and then I reduced them to 8. So there were 11, and then I reduced them to 9 or 8. Sorry. So, and I think the majority of teachers have done exactly the same thing. So you will expect this afternoon, inshallah, or this evening, a detailed, like table that contains all the information about this issue. So we'll have the chapters assigned by every individual teacher. Okay.
No feedback from their supervisors regarding the research papers.
I'm sorry, I cannot interfere at the level of supervision. It's your relationship with your supervisor, so you have to keep on bombarding your supervisor with emails until they respond to you. I mean, we don't have like a control over teachers to say this and this. So it's your responsibility to contact your supervisor or permanent supervisor.
Some professors didn't reduce the courses.
No, it's their responsibility. I mean, we cannot force we in the department, we cannot force students to reduce the number of units. Professor to ask them to reduce the number of units or the number of chapters. Yeah. But what is important is that the time allotted, for the exam has been reduced from 2 to 1 hour, 1 hour and a half to 1 hour, and from 2 to 1. This is something positive. You may expect also some exams that contain multiple choice questions, okay, to make, the task for the writer, to make the task easier for the writer or for your teacher. If not, you will have similar previous exam formats or samples, and some teachers volunteer to send you samples of the exams. Okay.
Permission to travel from one place to another?
This is not the concern. I mean, permission, it's the concern of the local authorities. Okay. And I think you need to have your
لا كونفوكاسيون ديال الامتحان بحال هذيك بحال
invitation. So you will receive an invitation from you receive it, or maybe you can download it online. I'm not sure about the invitation to the exam or for the exam, but anyway, you can download it. If you have an exam, you have an exam. You should have an invitation letter from the School of Arts and Humanities in Meknes. Yeah, and I think just by issuing your ID, I think it's possible for you to travel, and you can print, you can have your student card, you can print the exam schedule, and I think that's it. You show it to the local authorities, and I think you can move from one place to another. Other questions?
More questions about exam schedule. S2, S4, S6.
عندنا فقط اسقاط. No. So what is important is that we only know that the exam starts on the 23rd of September. This is what is sure. But in the coming this week, perhaps, or the later this week, you will receive a detailed exam schedule of all the semester. Okay, semester 6, semester 4, and semester 2. But what is sure again is that we'll start with semester 6. It would be the first one. So the exams will take place at the same time. Even if you are in Rashidia, students in Rashidia will take the same exam at the same time with students in every place. In El Hajjab, in Ifran, in Meknes, at the same time. So this will avoid, the possibilities of exchanging and cheating or sending information from one place to another. So if you have specific questions, please write them down.
You minimize the duration of the exam. Does that mean we will have few questions?
Yes. You'll have few. I mean, exams will be designed accordingly. Okay, they will be reduced, and the number of questions will be also reduced. Everybody, we're all aware of this situation. I know that every single student is undergoing a sort of psychological crisis. So, and the student and teachers are all aware about that. So we'll try. What is important is to make this event happen.
Question about the catch-up. When will the catch-up?
No, it's too early to talk again about the catch-up examination. It's too early to talk about it. Okay.
To make it
First, why should you wait for the catch-up exam? Why should you wait for the catch-up? This is an opportunity that you should seize. Okay. And then make the best out of it.
More questions about exam places.
Yeah. So, what do you want to know about the exams? It's the same. It's the same experience you have had at the university or the School of Arts and Humanities. It's like you have Moulay Ismail and Ibn Rushd, Ibn Battuta, Skakin. It's exactly the same. So those in Rashidia, it's like they are in Moulay Ismail. Those in Moulay Ibn Rushd, it's like they are in Khnifra. It's exactly the same. So you will receive, you should be able to have your own invitation. And I think you have all registered in your exam or in your place preferred, to take the exam in. So you just follow the procedure. It's the same procedures that will happen, or take place in Meknesa. They will apply also in other regions of Meknesa village. It's the same.
What about the students who have contracted the virus?
Okay. The administration is still, working on this. So perhaps students who have this virus will be located in one specific room altogether, or maybe they will not be allowed even at all. I think this is an issue that our administration is working on. So the administration is working on with the local authorities. It's not an issue that we as the pedagogical team, could, answer or respond to this.
Will the exams include multiple choice questions?
Yes, I think I mentioned this. I mentioned that I said, yes, it depends. Multiple questions, this is the plea that we have made, to teachers to include and incorporate multiple choice questions, in the exams. But if possible, we will try to do this. If not, you will have similar exams as you used to have. Because multiple choice questions, yield themselves to cheating, okay, and high risk of cheating. But it depends on the teacher and depends on the course. So some teachers would prefer to use multiple choice questions, and others would prefer, to write a short, short essay or paragraph essay. It depends on the nature. The nature of the course would determine the nature of the exam. How the procedures and the format of the exam.
Will we have thesis defense?
No. There is no thesis defense. So there is no, you cannot move from your home to, so every student will be evaluated on the basis of what he has written, on the basis of his relationship with the supervisor. The supervisor has the full authority to send us the final grade, and it's up to him to evaluate you. He can evaluate you the way he wishes to evaluate you. Okay, but anyway, attending, classes or classes, I think it's something that is beyond the control of the administration. I think everything you can be evaluated online. You can be evaluated just by your work that you send to your teacher. That's it. So the teacher is in a better position to evaluate whatever you send him.
A question about oral exams.
No, there is no oral exam, for this term. Otherwise, we'll have problems. I think all teachers agreed, to make it a written exam. I know that some exams require, the presence of the student and to interact directly in front of face-to-face with the teacher. But the pandemic, situation makes it impossible, for students to move And as I told you, so there is no attendance on site.
There is a question. What about new students? New students.
What do you mean by new student? I'm talking to S2, S4, and S6 student. So new student to the department. I think they have started the registration in the enrollment right now. So new student can address directly the administration, and I think they can deposit. Okay, or send at least they can have the prior what do you call registration. So I think I have answered most of relevant questions. So please, if you have other specific questions, I'm here to respond. So I'd like you to send to chat and say whether everything is clear or has been clarified.
1 hour or 1 hour and a half, it's not enough for the students to answer all the questions.
Exam will be reduced.
The exam, as I told you, who told you that 1 hour is not enough? 1 hour is enough, fair enough, more than enough. You should be able to answer your questions accordingly. I mean, taking time into consideration. And this is what they are doing in international testing centers like TOEFL and IELTS and Cambridge and so on and so forth. So you have to answer all your questions in a specific span of time. This is your duty. You should demonstrate and show, to teachers that you are in a position to answer. And all teachers have, it's like they know about this. They will reduce the exam will not be the same as in the previous years, where the exam maybe it takes 4 or 5 pages and it will take up to 2 hours. No. I mean, all the teachers are aware of that. Don't worry.
Will the exams take place here in the School of Arts or in the School of Law and Economics?
That's a good question. Whether the exam will take place in Meknes, at the faculty in Meknes, or up to now it's the faculty of the School of Arts and Humanities. But, and I say but, there is a possibility to extend the examination to other centers, especially l'EST, l'École Supérieure de Technologie, and to the School of Law and Economics, they say. So, I mean, the administration is still working on this, and then we're going to take this decision in the coming days.
There is a question about your course. What about your course? Professional life.
Well, what is your question about English for professional life? Malha. Yalla.
The exam will be
Exam, as I told you, has been reduced from 11 lessons or chapters or sections or whatever to 8 chapters. So I have deleted and omitted, the last 3 sections, and I've concentrated those. So you need, and I think the 2 books I assigned to you, so you need to read them and to understand the main gist of it. That's it. And then there is another, I think that's all. I assigned only 2. For business, for my course on business communication, I think I assigned only 1 textbook, Business in Use, and I assigned 20 units.
Can you repeat this, please? Expect a detailed table.
So please do expect a detailed, table that contains all information about the courses and the units of each individual teacher. So please, this afternoon, perhaps, I mean, Professor Al-Fatmi is working on this and has been working, on it. So we need to receive all the information, from teachers, and then we can put them in a table. شنو؟ لا لا ما درتش لا. ما ديرش كاع. ما ديرش.
How about your friend? Deadline for research papers.
It's exactly the same. Okay, deadline, it depends on your relationship with the teacher, not with the department. I repeat and I reiterate this. Your relationship with your supervisor will determine your final grade, not the department.
Is there any possibility to delay exams, just like what happened in Casablanca?
Well, nobody knows. Nobody knows whether we'll delay the exams or not. It all depends on the situation. We hope we've kept our fingers crossed, as we say, that things will happen as we expect. But if an urgent issue comes out on the way, so there is no choice but to delay the exams or postpone them again. Okay. والحمد لله نتمنى الله يرفع علينا الوباء. هذا هو اللي غادي نقول لكم. نتمنى وترجع الامور الى مجاريها. انا ما نكرهوش I mean to teach you in class, face-to-face teaching rather than online teaching. It's a burden on the part of teachers as well.
Will all the professors reduce their exams?
Yes.
It will be similar to the catch-up.
Yes. Yeah.
There is no.
So, I reiterate again, no oral examination taking place on site. So, I have already answered that question related to reduction of the exams. Okay. So, the same, let's say, amount of time that you have in semester in catch-up examination will be applied, in the main exam, for the main exam. So, like in the catch-up exam, you used to have like 1 hour. Instead of having 2 hours, we have 1 hour and a half. And 1 hour and a half is reduced to 1 hour. So anyway, all the exams this term will not exceed no more than 1 hour and a half. And the majority of the exam will be, like allotted 1 hour. The majority, I would say, with the exception of the main courses.
Is there a possibility of establishing an examination center in the region next to Rashid?
I don't think so. To establish another exam center, this goes beyond our capacities and control. It has been. Yeah, it's a decision by the higher authorities, like the presidents of the university and the president of the university. He is the one who, locates these sites, these exam sites.
There are questions about online courses. What about online courses? So many students ask about this.
What do you mean online?
Maybe for the next term.
Yeah, I think it's too early. Please, I don't want to talk about the next academic year. I'd like to concentrate this on the spring exams. So if you have any query, any question, please let me right now. I am more than happy, to do that.
some students they ask here about specific professors. I think it's not possible to
No,
answer the questions.
I am here as the head of the department and the council. I have my colleagues with me here,
You can contact them.
so we cannot talk on behalf of other teachers. So we're talking about pedagogical issues.
You can contact them via email.
So
Especially research papers.
for your research papers again, I reiterate that you need to contact your supervisor directly. And then you need to send a soft copy to him before the deadline that he sets. Before the deadline that he sets with you. Okay. So we will ask the supervisor to send us, as I said earlier, to send us a soft copy of your research paper plus the mark, the final grade. That's it. So if you cannot, for one reason or another, to send, the final copy, to your supervisor, you have to let him know in advance so that he can give you a chance for a catch-up examination. But you have to let him know. So you cannot take the catch-up examination or obtain a grade in the catch-up examination if your supervisor did not notify us. I mean, he should assign a mark to you, at least by giving you a mark above, 5.
Students who live in Tinghir,
Yeah.
should we travel to Rashidiyya? Should they travel to Rashidiyya to take?
I think students in Tinghir should travel because the administration has already arranged, and fixed the number of exam centers where students can take their exams. So there are 6 centers. I think Tinghir is for students who study at the Faculty of Law and Economics, but not at the School of Arts and Humanities. Okay, and I think your decision has already been made. Okay, which center you prefer to take your exam in? هذا ما كاينش في تنغير، ما كاينش تنغير تيقول لك واش ندوز تنغير.
We need online classes before we take the exams.
There is no room. It is not time for online classes now. So all the courses have been posted on the university platform. This is what is online. Online, you have the courses already posted on the university platform, so you can download them. And I'm sure if you should have download them. Okay. So there is also possibility to download them if you have not done so. One thing that you should bear in mind, this year is an exceptional year. هذا احنا تنسميوه سنة استثنائية. كل شيء واعي بأن هذه السنة سنة استثنائية بامتياز. Donc, بلا من teachers are all aware of that. Okay, انتم الله يكون في عون. Okay, so you are not there. We are not here to penalize you, but we take this into consideration. We take the psychological situation, okay, that you are undergoing. I know it's difficult, and it's the same for us. Even the same for teachers. We're not happy, but nobody is happy with the situation. But again, we try to survive and live with it. شنو هذا؟ What about?
What about online classes for exam courses?
Okay.
They just the same questions. Intercultural communication.
شكون؟
Let us ask about this professor. But I think
So for all the courses, they are posted online.
we want exam in Gulmima. Your beloved city. What about that?
I think that's all, huh?
Some,
So I think let's call it a day.
ما عندهم شي حاجة خاصة.
Okay, it seems to me that I have answered all your questions. So, and I have noticed that these questions are repetitive. Okay, so شوي لنا باش نقول شو حس شوي اجي احسن
حسن.
ويصير تقول حاجه the courses كتب هنا واحد كان let me see what he put here what's the difference between 1 hour and 2 would it make the situation safer don't you know
Safer than the virus.
anyway the courses we put online are too huge and complicated we need an urgent reduction of chapters ما احنا قلناها شيء okay.
Directly to we
Okay, for Professor Clay, you will have, as I told you, a detailed, table of the units and the chapters he intends to examine you on. I think it's the same with other teachers. So please just be patient. Professor Fatmi is working on this and he's still working on that. So just bear with us and be patient again. This afternoon, inshallah, or this evening, at the latest, you will receive, the detailed description of all the chapters and lessons, etc.
some professors didn't post anything. I don't think so.
I know. It's a difficult year. It's nobody wants to be in this situation, but it's something that is imposed on us. It's not a choice. It's not a question of choice that we want the situation to be like this. So we have to live with it. Okay. الله غالب راه بحال لازم يكون شي واحد الله غالب داكشي اللي عطى الله واحد.
The invitation exam. When will they receive it?
I think you will receive the invitation online. La lettre d'invitation de convocation تكون en ligne.
استدعاء.
Huh? Okay. So anything related to administration, I think the administration will respond to that. So we are concerned with the issues related to pedagogy, to the exam, formalities and procedures, So if you have, again, any specific question, please do let us know.
How will the university assure student security during exam?
You know that the protocol that is known all over the country will be applied, and I think all the safety measures will be taken into consideration. So, the wearing of the mask is mandatory. You need to be taken, the temperature before you get in, wash your hands. All the things, will be taken into consideration. I mean, these measures are very tough and mandatory for every single student who would like to come and take his exam or his or her exam. Okay.
How will we know that professors have reduced the lessons? They should be represented.
Okay, as I told you, once you receive, this table, detailed table with all information about each module and each professor, you will have all the information necessary about the number of chapters, units, sections on which you'll have the exam. So this afternoon, inshallah, you will have a detailed table.
Is the student ID mandatory?
Yes. So the student ID identification is not just mandatory, obligatory. Mandatory, of course, that it's mandatory.
In addition to the student's card.
Yes, you need to bring your student card as well as ID. No. I told you 1 hour is fair than enough. Personally, I used to examine my student in the catch-up examination, and I allowed them 1 hour, no more than 1 hour, because the questions are very specific and to the point.
Please, what about the master program?
مش نقدر نجاوب زين غير الحاجة اللي عندها علاقة. Okay, it seems to me that the questions are being repetitive again, so I will call it today, and I wish you the best of luck. And نتمنى من الله سبحانه وتعالى يرفع لنا الوباء، ايش اللي غادي نقول لكم. والطلبة الأعزاء، شكرا لكم وشكرا على التفاعل والتواصل، وأتمنى لكم حظا سعيد، وإلى اللقاء مرة أخرى إن شاء الله.